Welcome to INTC 2020 Lab 9 video. This is Elias Lad, and this is a video for creating and configuring virtual networks. We're going to demonstrate that the external virtual switch allows communication between the parent and child partitions, and that the child partitions have access to the external network. Next thing we'll be doing is set up an internal virtual switch. Then we demonstrate communication between the parent and child partitions, and ensure that no communications with the external network. Then we'll change back to the external virtual switch. We're going to set up NIC teaming in a virtual network environment and demonstrate the setup process and that the NIC teaming adapter is working properly. Okay, for Lab 9, the first thing you want to do is open up HyperV Manager in Workstation A, and you want to go to Virtual Switch Manager, and you want to select External Switch, and then for the Virtual Switch properties, make sure you select the connection type of external network. Alright. So now you want to go ahead and launch server E after you selected external network. Once you're in server E, you want to open up the command prompt, and you want to test out connectivity to your default gateway in server E. So let's go ahead and do that. And as you can see, there is connectivity in server E, and this represents an external network, and you do have communication between the two. So the next thing we want to do is set up an internal network. So in order to set up an internal network, you have to turn off the server E. Let's go ahead and close it. Alright. Once the server is closed, what you want to do now is go to Virtual Switch Manager and select internal. Then hit OK. Actually, let's go back there. And then select internal network and hit apply. Okay. Guess it's just taking a little bit to load. Alright. Okay. Just give it a second. I think it's rebooting it. There we go. Let's go ahead and restart server E, and we're going to connect to it. Alright. Alright, and once we're in server E, let's go back to command prompt and test connectivity to the default gateway, the internal network setting applied. So what you want to do here is ping 10.1.1.1 and just say host unreachable. Only settings applied is internal network, and it's only associated with all internal connections only. So the default gateway should fail. Alright, so the next thing we want to do now is change back to the external network, and we're going to try to set up NIC teaming. Alright, so here we are in PowerShell on the HV server. So the first thing we want to do is try to see what net adapters that we have. So let's go ahead and type out this command real quick. Get network adapter. Alright, so you have Ethernet 1, Ethernet 2, that's what we're using for NIC teaming, and then you have Ethernet 0, which is our main connectivity. We don't want to mess with that. So let's go ahead and type out new net team name team member. Alright, will be Ethernet 1, Ethernet 2. Alright, and then yes. Alright, so it should be configuring it right now. And voila, there we have it. We have switch independent is our teaming mode. We have team in the Ethernet 1 and 2. There we go. All done. I don't think there's anything else we need to do for NIC teaming. Let's verify actually. And there we go. You see it in team. Bam. Alright. HyperV manager. Let's do refresh actually. Okay. Alright. Virtual switch manager. I'm going to create a new virtual switch. Just select external. And then create. Okay. Let's name this NIC team switch. There we go. Let's select the multiplexer driver. Okay. Apply. Yes. Applying changes, of course. Takes a second to actually, install and configure it. Alright. Just hit OK. Okay, so go to settings and server E, and then you want to go down to network adapter, the one we just made. Alright, select NIC team switch, and then advanced, and then you want to scroll down to the very bottom and enable NIC teaming. Make sure this is checked, because if not, you will not be able to team the two network adapters. Okay. Now, there you have it. You have the network adapter. Bam. Alright. Seems good. Alright, in conclusion, we demonstrated that the external virtual switch allows communication between the parent-child partitions, and the child partitions have access to the external network. We set up a turtle virtual switch, and then we demonstrated communication by pinging the two between the parent-child partitions, and we have no communication with the external network. We switch back to the external virtual switch before we configure the NIC teaming. We set up a NIC teaming in a virtual network environment and demonstrated that the setup process and the NIC teaming adapter is working properly.